Hi, welcome to Wayne Manor. Here we are under lockdown. We're all under lockdown, right? So I've named my country Kevanistan. So welcome to Kevanistan. And I want to thank Paul Dini for Back to Life. I think it's so great that they brought this back to life. So let's try a live read of this from DC Comics, who've made this possible. So, Batman the Adventure continues. From the nation of Quebec. Exterior evening, Gotham skyline. Full moon, bright city. A tiny silhouette of Batman is set against the moon as he leaps off a rooftop, firing a grappling hook. All moons should be this bright, all nights this clear. Not that it matters to me. We see that he's swinging into Bane, who was on a low rooftop, turning to look back at him. Batman has his free hand clenched, ready to throw a punch. My sights aim considerably lower. Batman punches Bane with a powerful haymaker. He takes the hit. Ugh! Bane angrily grabs him. Batman says, "Ooh, not even a wince." Bane lifts Batman above his head, ready to do some serious back injury. I will break you. Rawr. Bane suddenly looks ill and begins to teeter. Batman lands on his feet as Bane falls face first onto a rooftop. Close on one of the tubes of venom formula feeding into Bane, there's a tranquilizer dart sticking out of it, a dart with little bat wings. Batman's gloved hand is reaching in for it. I hit him with this half an hour ago. Next time, I quadruple the dose. And the darts. Batman pockets the darts in his utility belt. At least Bane would be the worst thing I'd have to face this evening. But over Batman's shoulder, a 20-foot robot is lumbering down the street. People are running for cover. Oh, get out of the way, out of the way! A car tries to swerve out of the way. Runs into a sidewalk. Batman says, then again, it's only 10 o'clock. The giant robot kicks an approaching police car out of his way, knocking it on its side. Batman swings over the police car as it slides under him, passenger side down. Batman on the ground looks through the broken windshield of the police car. Bullock is in the passenger seat. The driver cop, who's about as big as Bullock, has slid down on top of him, smashing him. You all right, Bullock? Oh yeah, couldn't be better. What the? Wide on streets, Batman swings after the robot, which is down the block. People are running for cover. Out of the way! Get out of the way! Except for one guy in a leather jacket, watching in foreground under a store awning. This is Jason Todd. There he goes. Bat versus... His face is half hidden in shadows. Smile, which is creepy. I forgot how much fun Gotham can be. The giant robot rips into a building with the signage, Wayne Enterprises, Cybernetics Center. Batman swings in from a distance. It looks like this is going to get personal. Interior of the large lab. High ceilings, lab stations with oversized electronic boards, circuitry set in acrylics. Technicians in lab coats run for cover as the robot breaks into the place. Elephant doors. Techs are standing in front of a stainless steel 8x8 metal door, part of a walk-in lab safe. There's a seam down the middle where its doors swing open when unlocked. I should say the techs were standing in front of the door because a blast from the robot's fist gun blows them away. The techs scream, "Ah!" The robots stand in front of the safe and digs its hands and arms deep into the wall on either side of the door. It's pulling the safe out of the wall. Pieces of the wall are breaking away as it gets about a third of the way out. The robot looks over its shoulder as Batman lands behind it. Put it back. A laser barrel swivels up on the robot's arm and fires several shots at Batman. He manages to duck and dodge them. Then the robot reaches up and literally pulls down the ceiling, bringing a cascade of heavy debris on Batman. Exterior Wayne Enterprises. With the vault under his arm, the robot makes a new exit out of the building. Batman swings out the same hole, holding a fistful of batarangs. As the robot heads toward a loading dock, at least 10 batarangs embed along the seam of its back. Thwack, 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 thwack. Batman in the foreground holds his cape up against the blast as the batarangs explode all at once. We can barely see the robot because of the huge dust up from his cape as the smoke clears. The robot is throwing a truck cab at Batman. Roar! Batman hits the ground as the truck flies just inches above him. With the vault, Batman, back on his feet, flicks some dirt off his shoulder as he looks up. Round 1. Exterior Wayne Mansion. The sun is dawning. It's the following morning. Alfred enters. Still no luck, sir? In the Batcave, Batman is at the signature on the satellites. It's odd. It's not by jet propulsion or any heat-generating means. Why would you what it stole? The vault contained a piece of alien hardware. Superman brought it to me. Wayne Enterprises was doing tests on it as a favor. Aliens, robots, makes one nostalgic for the Cosa Nostra. What's that for? A cocktail party at the Cloud9 tonight. I thought a Bruxelles wool and cashmere with a subtle blue stripe might be just the thing. Forget it. But I haven't told you about the surprise guest. Later that evening, rooftop party. Bruce is there among the upper crust of Gotham society. He's already been cornered by a redhead, Veronica Hamill. She's sipping a cocktail, which may be one too many by now. She's ripped. Why did we ever split up, Bruce? I still can't figure it out. One day, we're friends. Friends is good, Veronica. Well, if you want someone to watch your cat, friends is good. She picks another drink off the tray of a passing waiter. With her one hand, Veronica holds up 3 fingers, a subtle hint, as if to indicate Bruce has adopted 3 boys, not merely the 2 we've already seen. Bruce says, I told you I'm not the marrying kind. You say that, but I know you're a marrying man at heart. You just adopted another boy, didn't you? Now, against Bruce provocatively, she presses a finger against his chin as if searching for the cleft. Tim is my ward. He's been with me for a while. Don't you ever think these boys could use a mother's touch? Alone in that big, drafty mansion. I imagine they feel as you must have forgotten. Lex Luther, what's going on? Already he seems bigger than life. My dear, there are many lost causes. Believe me, I've spent a lifetime on one in particular, but none are so hopeless as trying to elicit even a soupçon of emotion from Bruce Wayne. Luther is throwing, everyone's all smiles. Veronica, Lex Luther? Oh, the notorious mastermind of Metropolis. Don't believe everything you read in the Daily Planet. If you wouldn't mind, Miss Freeland, I'd like a few minutes with Bruce alone. Maybe I can talk some sense into him. Have fun. I'll be at the bar. Feel free to stop by. Lex. I was surprised to hear you were in town, Luthor. Usually you let me. Fact is, I'm not particularly fond of this city. Not since that incident with the Joker, which I think you still blame on me, even though I was as much a victim as anyone. And I certainly don't need any more encounter with your Batman. Scrubby little madman. Thinks he's so tough. He wasn't very effective last night, was he? Bruce, well, it could have gone better. As much as I hate the alien, that big blue Boy Scout comes in handy sometimes. He would have flattened that robot in no time. Maybe you could give me his number. You two being so close and all. Wouldn't have helped. He hasn't been around lately. Believe me, I know. If he's in the sky, he's on my radar. Last week, he had a big battle on the far side of the moon. That man can fight. But since then, not a sign of him. By the way, what did he get? Yeah, what did they get? Well, I wish I could tell you. Well, be that way. Interior of the Batcave. Close on a computer board. A voice is coming out of a small speaker. Hello, this is Clark Kent. I'm not available to answer your call, but if you would leave me your name and number and... Bruce is in the bat suit, sans cape and cowl. He clicks off. You're not going to leave him a message? I wasn't expecting an answer. If he were anywhere on Earth, he'd have heard the news and been here by now. No, he's gone. That gloating maniac was right about that. An airfield at night. We're looking at an airplane hangar in a small airfield. There are a couple of guards with automatic rifles. One is stationed out front. The other is walking alongside. Claremont Airfield, a secluded little landing strip just south of Gotham. Did a drug bust here last month. It doesn't attract the best clientele. On the front guard, who suddenly hears something above him, perhaps a footstep on the roof. Goom, goom, goom. He looks and coming down fast. Batman enters the hangar. I'm in, Alfred. Batman approaches the vault and the giant robot. The front of the robot is open, reveals out a disc device from under his cape. As he informs Alfred, it appears onto the robot's leg. The disc makes a noise. In the Batcave, Alfred is seated at the computer controls. Webbed lines are formed at a nearby screen and recording the robot's inner circuit set. Now, what about the vault? Back in the hangar, a device has been wired to the wall's front control panel. There are at least 10 digital readouts on the device. The device is going through numerical combinations at great speed, so there are blank spots. They're trying to lock to open it. We may have gotten here just in time. Just then, Batman is struck by a beam off panel. Ah! In steps Luthor from the shadows in his exosuit. Of all the gin-joined, Luthor has grabbed Batman by the neck, lifting him up with his metallic hand. Batman looks agonized, clutching at Luthor's grip as if he's really pained. Why do you keep coming into mine? And that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. And we're signing off now. Thank you, Paul Dini and Bruce Timm and Alan Burnett for making this possible.